What's up, guys? I feel like Dr. Evil rolling in there with that chair that don't work right. Alright, so this is lesson 2 of our Learn Guitar series. In the first lesson, we talked about the guitar itself, the components of the guitar, the names of the strings, and playing position. Now we're going to build on that, and we're going to start doing stuff with our right hand on our instrument. One thing I would recommend is there's going to be a lot of material that I go over, and I have lots of different books that were suggested to me or given to me by teachers and colleagues, and books that I bought on my own. And along the way, I'm going to recommend material that you should think about purchasing in the future. I cannot reproduce anything, obviously, due to copyright reasons, but I can at least provide you with the resources and point you in the right direction. So the first thing I'm going to recommend is the Christopher Parkening Guitar Method, Volume 1. Respect the Turtleneck. This is a great book. It's got a lot of really good stuff in it. It's great for beginning guitar. It teaches you everything from playing position to how to hold your hands. It has great music in here to get you started. If you're interested in classical music, there's Bach, folk songs, Robert DeVisi, all kinds of stuff. And it actually goes over some music theory as well. I also have a video series called Learn Music Theory, where I explain theory as well. And you should always work on your theory. It will help your playing. So we're going to start in here, but we're going to bounce around through a lot of different material because, like I said, I'm not going to teach just classical music. But this is where we're going to start. This is where our foundations are going to be. This is where pretty much every guitar player that goes to school, this is where they start as well. So, good book. Check it out. I think it's, this says $12.99, but you can get it elsewhere. I mean, $13 and you're getting like over 100 pages of material. You can't beat that. A lot of these other books are like really expensive. So let's lower this down a little bit and start talking about playing. You might want to, sorry. Okay. Scoot over just a little bit. Here we go. All right. So, just like in our last video, we want to have a good playing position. So make sure your neck is angled upwards, like mine. I like to just make sure I'm secure in my position. I like to make sure that I'm comfortable. There's no weirdness. It doesn't feel weird anywhere. I want it to feel natural. I want it to feel good. I want it to feel relaxed. Now, when I start playing, and what I will recommend, you can come up with your own way of doing things as you go along your journey. Just speaking from my personal experience, I just relax a little bit, bring my arms down, and notice the guitar doesn't really move. I mean, it moves around a little bit because nothing is holding it. You know, it's going to wiggle around. But the point is that it should pretty much stay in its position that you put it in before you play. And just let your arms relax. I mean, you can even do stretching exercises at this time. You could roll your shoulders back. You could lift your arms in the air, do this stretch. There's a lot of really good stretches. And I could do a video of that as well, if anybody wants it. Alright, so we got a good position. Now, I'm going to tune this guitar because I was playing Renaissance music, and Renaissance music requires a different tuning. So I'm going to use my handy tuner. And there's all different kinds of tuners. Mine is one that goes on the neck. There's handheld ones and other various things. But basically, you want to hit the string. You want it to say its letter name. So in this case, it's E. And wait till it turns green or the line gets in the middle. Good to go. I'm going to go to A. Do the same thing. D, G string, B string, bzz, and the E string, high E. Alright, and then normally what I like to do, because tuners are not perfect, I just like to double check it. And now we're in tune. So that was just a quick overview of how to tune the guitar. I'm assuming that you know what you're doing with the tuner. If anybody needs another video to show how to tune properly, we can do that as well. But today we're going to go over the right hand. Now we got our strings. The thumb is generally going to play the top three. Sometimes it goes further down depending on what you're playing, but for simplicity's sake, we're going to talk about the thumb only using the top three bass strings. These are your bass strings. Then your index finger, your middle, and your ring finger are going to play the treble strings, the top strings, the G, B, and E. Now, I can go over picking technique as well, and I do plan on doing that, but like I said, for now, we're just going to start getting into classical foundations because it's applicable in a variety of settings. And you can use it with your electric guitar playing too. Doing stuff like, you know, stuff like that. Alright, so that's roughly where the fingers go. Now let's talk about what they're called. Your index finger, we'll call it the I finger. I for index. Your M finger, or your middle finger, M for middle. A is your ring finger. We're just going to call it A. Just work with me. Your pinky is pinky. And then your thumb is P. So P, I, M, A. And we have names for the fingers because when we need a reference point that's quick to be able to discuss what we're doing with that finger. So instead of me saying, all right, take your index finger and move it here, let's I finger go. It's just for simplicity's sake. All right, now we want to make sure we're relaxed. Make sure our shoulders are relaxed and chilling, and we're good. And then we bring our hand up and rest your thumb on the E string, the low E, the one I'm wiggling, and then put your other three fingers on the higher strings. Let your pinky naturally go to where it rests. Generally, your pinky's going to move with your A finger or your ring finger. Just let it do its thing. And just relax. Notice my shoulders just went down. I was holding some tension there. Good. Now, what we're going to do is what I would like you to start doing is play the strings. We're going to do what's called free stroke today. So we're going to go E, A, D. So E, A, D with our thumb, and we're going to do quarter notes. So that means we're going to go 1, put the thumb back, 2, put the thumb back, 3, put the thumb back, 4, put the thumb back. Same thing, the A string. Make sure you return the thumb back to the string after you play it. D string. And go back up. Alright. You can practice that with a metronome, going slowly at first, maybe like, I don't know, 40 or 50 beats per minute, and then move it up slowly every week. Or you could just do it out of time until it feels natural, until it feels good. Like this feels really good. Here's another angle. Notice my thumb just naturally moves how it would. It just goes down. Okay? Next we're going to work on the other fingers. Same thing, quarter notes. We'll do the index finger first, or your eye finger. And we'll go 1, 2, make sure you return it to the string, and then we'll go to the B string, then the A string, pinky moves with it, here's a better angle. Starting to get a little tension. Here we go. Watch my finger. Goes into the palm, back to the string. And that's what I want you to work on for this week. Now, it might seem slow at first, but you know, you've got to walk before you learn how to run. It's that idea. Everything that we do in this stage is very important because it will affect your playing later on. And if you start getting bad habits and things, it's hard to break those habits. So if you notice, I was playing kind of quietly. That's because I was just making sure I was focusing on what my fingers were doing. Once you start to get that natural feeling, try to increase your volume a little bit. And speed. Alright? Before you know it, it will feel really natural. Spend like 5 minutes a day working on that. Get a good playing position and start working on your right hand. Alright guys, I want to thank you for watching these videos. In the next lesson, we're going to start going over some different exercises that we can do to get our right hand moving more freely, more naturally. And then we'll get into left hand and we'll get into playing some music. Alright, thanks for watching.